Every year, lakhs of students write competitive exams like CET, NEET, and JEE. But behind the ranks, coaching classes, mock tests, and parents' expectations, there is another story: pressure, confusion, comparison, and fear. Today, we are not talking about these exams, we are talking about the child behind these marks. So, welcome Dr. Varun Murthy to Ask Shiva Krishna podcast show.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Varun Murthy brings education, mindset, and value building perspective. Today, I'll be asking about the education, parents, students' mindset, and how they are going to be a asset for a nation. So, we'll be discussing on these lines of a whole the show. So, I'll be asking the question like this. So you're a doctor, you're an educator, you're an author, you're a speaker. What made you to look at education almost like a health issue?
Education is the thing that drives an individual, that makes an individual. So if you consider the nation as a organism, as an individual,
Correct.
there are so many cells. Our body is made up of about 100 trillion cells.
Correct.
Now all of them clustered into small tissues, organ systems. It's like the state, no?
Yeah.
It's like the entire country.
True.
Individuals are like the cells.
Cells.
The small clusters
Nation.
of these individuals are the nation
You
put
can
together.
make it as a states,
Yes,
districts.
So imagine the cells are being unhealthy. Will the body be healthy?
No.
Not possible.
Correct.
And the only way that we can build a nation, the only way that we can ensure that the nation progresses is by ensuring that the individuals are proper. And what is the route we have to take for that? Only education. You want it or not, everybody in our country, irrespective of who they are,
Yes.
somebody who is a laborer on the construction site or the son of a CEO, everybody wants education for their children. So it is something that has been accepted by people and everybody go through it voluntarily.
Definitely.
That means
Learning
if
never
that
ends.
is not proper, then everything else will fail.
True.
So as a doctor, I can treat people when they are ill. The country is in illness. There is cancer of various kinds for the country.
Yeah.
So I feel treating that cancer, treating that illness of the nation is of greater significance.
So, as you said, learning never ends. So you always use a sentence in your profile and other things called as Vyaktinirman Se Rashtranirman. What made you to choose this?
Sir, I am a devotee of Swami Vivekananda. I drive a vision called Rebuild India. Rebuild India is Swamiji's thought. And he says, he is like the greatest social scientist that I have come across. He says the way to build a nation is to build an individual.
Yes.
Vyaktinirmana means developing
Building
an
one
individual.
person. Yes.
And because individuals are the ones who make the nation, the only focus and the continuous, consistent focus that needs to be for somebody who is thinking about nation building is working on the individuals.
Correct.
So when a large number of individuals are nurtured properly, they will contribute to national welfare.
True.
Because everywhere it is people who are taking care of everything.
Once they get educated, they'll become they get an employment or through their own things and also.
Employment is one part of one's life.
Correct.
Even the so-called education, we talk about education, I call it literacy and graduation. That's all in our country. There is no education that is happening in our country.
True.
Like, okay, assuming that education that we get formally is one part of the life.
True.
And employment that we get on the basis of that so-called education is for sustenance of life. But life is much broader, much wider, has many more dimensions to it than just go to school, get a degree and go to a job, get a paycheck at the end of the month. Do this for the rest of your life. Wait till you die. No.
It's like educated slaves.
So education has to be redefined.
Correct.
And once we do that, it will start taking care of the rest of the things.
True. So whenever you meet students today, so what is that biggest invisible problem that you notice?
There is no transformation happening through education. See, all of us are designed by evolution, sir.
True.
Evolution has designed us for millions of years. Correct, no? Our constitution, our laws, whatever we have created to create human societies are all very young compared to what our natural inherent intelligence is.
True.
And for human beings, the natural tendency is to progress.
Step by step.
It is natural. You just leave an individual by himself, he will figure out how to progress. That is inbuilt. It is not something that is given by the society or
True.
given by the system. When the systems are in contradiction to that, you have a natural tendency to progress, but the system is suppressing those natural tendencies to progress. There is a conflict at the existential level, not at the mind level. So when there is conflict at the existential level and you don't want to be in that conflict, you will try to avoid that. So what I see as the biggest problem in the youngsters today, not only today, this has been a problem. You talk to your parents, they will say our time was better, these kids are bad. You talk to their parents, your grandparents, they will tell the same thing about your parents.
Yes.
You are telling the same thing about your children, they will tell the same thing about their children. So the problem is, what we have designed as a path of progress for individuals is not naturally aligned, and therefore that is leading to conflict. People are going through it because it is a compulsion, and because it is not aligning to their nature, there is conflict and they are avoiding it. So that is the reason why we see children being disinterested in studies, disinterested to go to school. That I see only conflict. Internal conflict is what I see when I see children and adults also.
Yeah, because whatever parents have missed, they want to get it done through their children. So this is an Indian DNA where things will not allow us to do something what we want. They always show a risk factor. So what if? So the if clause is spoiling the cases, is what I feel. If you fail, what happens? Nothing will happen if you fail.
We will fail to live perpetually also, no? We will
Yes.
die one day. We're all trying to live forever,
Yes.
but we will die one day.
Yeah,
So,
taste of failure is also required.
so, see, aspirations, what we want, what are those aspirations for? Everybody is trying to get something fulfilled to fulfill their material needs only. No?
Correct.
They want money, they want to have a better lifestyle.
Yes.
So I say these are all very cheap aspirations, though very important for having a comfortable life, but cheap aspirations compared to the capability that a human being has.
Absolutely agree.
So it's like everybody is trying to do something where most of the people don't know what they are supposed to do.
It's an influence, societal influence.
There is a saying in Kannada. It goes like this. ಬೆತ್ತಲೆ ಪ್ರಪಂಚದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಟ್ಟೆ ಹಾಕಿದವನೇ ಹುಚ್ಚ. Okay. In a naked world, the one who is clothed is a madman.
Yeah. So want to change.
So what is better? Stay naked.
Whatever they want.
Everybody accepts it, no?
True. So in today's world, parents are ambitious or anxious?
Both. Everybody is ambitious. Everybody wants to progress. If you talk to anybody, they are talking about the next step for their life. They want to progress.
Correct.
Do they have an understanding of where they stand, a fair understanding of where they stand, so that they can figure out what they have to do to take the next step? So ambitions are common to everybody. Anxiety is also common to everybody. If there is clarity of where they stand and clarity of the path and commitment to walk the path, anxiety will not be there. And because there is no clarity of the current position, the aspirations are mostly fantasies, not based on assessment of where I can reach or how I can reach. Ambition, anxiety are going hand in hand without leading to much progress for most of the people. So parents, children, the society in general seems to be hyper ambitious. Everybody wants to achieve something. Everybody is running around to achieve something. Everybody is in a sense of anxiety. But most of the people are not progressing.
They want, but they don't.
They want, but they don't, because they don't know how to assess where they stand and what they have to do to get what they want.
It's like an ecosystem is spoiled. It's like a polluted system. So you need to rebuild the costliest word called sustainable, which never we are going to achieve. So that is okay.
See, sustainability is only nature, sir. Live it by itself. Nature sustains. Nature
Yes.
knows how to sustain.
Definitely.
So anything that you want to make it sustainable has to be aligned to the natural principles. including education, including human progress.
Yes.
If it is, the more it is deviating from the natural principles of growth and progress,
Disruptions are.
the more it will collapse. It is just like you plant a seed in a pot and grow a bonsai tree and plant it in the soil and let it grow. That tree will be, in about 3-4 years, it will take care of itself.
Yes.
But this fellow, the bonsai, needs to be taken care of even
Every
if it
day.
is a 40-year-old.
Definitely. So what you want to be, it's an individual choice.
Yeah. But what you nurture yourself on is the smart thing to do.
True.
And that requires, like you said, the ecosystem. Yeah.
So, in a general terminology or in a general sense, so do you think is there any confusion between academic performance and real developments?
It is not confusion. I would say there is not much connection between academic performance and real development. So, for that, let us look at what is academic performance assessing. See, it is all good only. There is no problem with the curriculum. There is no problem with what the structure is. But the determining of outcomes, what is it that we are trying to reward people for? We are rewarding people for their scholastic performance in terms of the marks they score. You take that out of equation, and what else is being given as a reward to people while they go through that 10-12 years of schooling? There is no other reward built in the system. Some school might be rewarding physical fitness. Some school might be rewarding some art or culture, sports and all that. But is it built within the system where the society and the system appreciates people for who they are, what they are?
But the academic performance as a more out of that 100%.
Yeah.
For these kind of things as very 1%, 0.5%, and also, why will people look into these? Like when you don't respect a sports person, apart from cricket, I don't think in India no other sport is respected. Yeah. So
now slowly sports is being respected. Sports is being taken up very seriously.
But 140 crore, not even a single football team. So that's like a demotivating thing. See.
No, but for the question that you asked, is there a connection between the academic performance and real development? Not, because real development is not just dependent on that one marks that you score. What is it testing? It is testing your ability to remember things.
Correct.
And probably a partial application of what you have learned. But life is so diverse.
Yes.
People, it is not necessary that you have to go through that particular line of learning to become successful.
True.
So they are two different things. While academic scholastic performance is being taken care of, children are not being trained on how to be successful actually.
Correct. It's always evaluated on a scale of 10, on a scale of hundreds. So what is that parents are missing? Because they always look at this academic, only look at marks. What should parents re-evaluate themselves? What is an advice from your side to parent? Because you've seen thousands of students, you're talking as a speaker in your books and everything, because on the Arjuna thing that you have written. So what is one thing that you advise parent to look beyond marks?
Sir, when I'm talking all these things, I'm not telling that marks is not important. I'm not telling the system is bad. Nothing I'm telling. I'm just telling every individual, let's say you are a parent, your child is 5-dimensional: physical, intellectual, emotional, social, and spiritual.
Correct.
Now, all these 5 dimensions have to be nurtured on a daily basis. If I have to give an analogy, let us say a mango tree. What we want in a mango tree is the mango fruit.
Correct.
But the mango tree is not just the fruit.
It's a whole.
There are roots, there is everything.
Branches, leaves.
You don't have to bother about how the stem is growing or how the fruit will shape up. You just have to bother about what you are feeding the roots.
Correct.
How well you are rooting the plant and how well you are feeding the roots. So these 5 dimensions are the roots. You nurture it properly. You don't know what seed your child is. Don't try to bring out the fruit that you want.
Yeah, whatever is it.
Whatever the child will develop into, and every child is designed to deliver something.
True.
So your job as parents or as individuals is to just focus on the 5 dimensions. Nurture these 5 dimensions on a daily basis. They will blossom by themselves. They have to work hard, sir. It is not that if you want to do something, do, otherwise you can be anything.
Yes,
Not
yes.
not that extreme of liberal parenting.
True, true, true.
Nurture these 5 dimensions. How? If the time permits, I'll tell that. Let them blossom. In the course of time, you will figure out what they become in life. Don't try to fix an outcome for their life and start channelizing everything towards that. It might not be what they are designed to be.
True. Great.
So, physical, intellectual, emotional, social, spiritual. Nurture these 5 dimensions on a daily basis. That's my advice if you want to consider it that way.
Super. Yes, all five are required. Every quotient of like emotional, social, everything is required. Every time it cannot be a four walls. Yeah. Okay. So generally in recent years, parents are spending too much of time in finding which kindergarten is good, which school is good. But the same parent, when their child approaches the professional courses, their curiosity will be less. What is the cause that you observe in that?
When kids are being enrolled into, let's say, kindergarten or school or even plus two, parents consider that as a responsibility on their part to look for what is good and what the child has to be given. Because the diversity of options are less, so parents have the basic framework of how to choose something. They consider it as their duty to be involved in the decision making of the child, and they do that. But beyond that, when higher education is being considered, parents generally think it is the choice of the child. But unfortunately, by the time they finish their 12th standard, they should have been nurtured with the ability to decide what they have to do,
Correct.
which most of the people don't have, which leads to the confusions when they try to get into higher education.
But in Indian tendency, parents take decision till the age of 28, 29. So everything they take kind of a spoon feeding. So where parents should stop this kind of thing, like taking the decisions on their own for the child. Where should they stop? Or is there anything that kind of a stop or no?
There should be. Nobody should make conclusive decisions on behalf of anybody. Let's say, I would say right from early childhood, what is a parent supposed to do? You should know where is the boundary between safe exploration and danger. As long as the child is exploring within the boundary of safety, your job is to stand back and watch. Let the child explore and experience things. Whenever you see that the child is crossing the boundary of safety and getting into some danger, you pitch in to bring that perspective to the child.
Realization.
So you just know, let's say when the child is going riding a bicycle, you stand and watch. If the child is going in a way in an opposite direction and he might get into an accident, that is when you can go and you can pull back. So allow the child to explore. Exploration will initiate the child to do experiments. With experimentation, they will gain some experience, and that experience will give them clarity, which based on which, if they make decisions, they will excel. Now, you think about it. Where is the option for exploring without any purpose? Free exploration. Not possible. Parents are
Objective. Why are you doing?
for everything they are interfering. See, it is not love. It is not an expression of love. You are doing it out of love.
Correct.
But your interference or your involvement in everything where you are trying to direct everything for the child out of love is actually interference in the development of the child, which is inhuman. All right. So you should know the boundary of where my love is transforming into inhuman treatment of the child. The child is not being troubled. So to say, giving the child an AC room is inhuman.
True.
The parent thinks it is giving comfort, but it is inhuman because it doesn't allow the child to get adjusted to nature,
Correct.
the natural changes in the environment. So it requires perspective, sir. Right and wrong is contextual and it is relative.
True.
But what is definitely right and what is definitely wrong should be looked at in the prism of development, evolution.
Where is the line between healthy discipline and emotional pressure?
Social, legal, and moral. Three boundaries. Morality is given by the family and the society. You define it clearly what are the value systems that you subscribe to. Define the boundary. Crossing the boundary, punish the child or reprimand the child, that is disciplining. So don't define what is socially acceptable, what is morally right, and what is legally right. As long as those boundaries are not crossed, let the child explore, make mistakes, fall down. Don't let the child to be lazy. Don't let the child to use excuses to escape from responsibilities. Whenever the child is lazy, whenever the child is giving excuses to run away from the responsibilities, run away from accountability, pull them back, put them on the task, be a taskmaster there.
Correct.
That is the right discipline. No? Not forcing them emotionally to do what you want them to do, which may not align to their tendencies.
True. It's all individual changes.
So, the entire waking time being involved in things which will help them progress on the different dimensions that I told is productive work. When they are trying to run away from that, pull them back. And when they are trying to do something which is immoral, antisocial, or illegal, take them to task, reprimand
Definitely.
them, punish them. No problem.
Yes.
It's conditioning, no? You have to train them.
Yes. If you want to be healthy, you need to maintain
Yes,
the
yes.
discipline.
Yes.
So, another thing, why parents keep the pressure on the kids? How to manage that? They'll become a pressure holding, like social pressure or a family pressure. You're not studying, you're not performing. Why? So when you ask too many questions to the kid, so automatically it creates a pressure kind of a thing in the kid. So what do you suggest? Being you are a doctor, you understand the inner as well and the society as well. So
Child is supposed to do what he is supposed to do, which the parents have clearly defined. Child has to go to his school, attend school sincerely, do his work at home. Now, for whatever reason, the child is not interested to do that. That is a systemic issue or the child's tendency, whatever. The reasons are different. Parent getting irritated is natural.
True.
So, parent starts questioning the child on why you are not doing this or that. On the duties that the child is supposed to do, child gets irritated. Child starts feeling that parent is pressurizing me. So, have your boundaries set. Child not doing things which makes the parent angry is also true. Likewise, parent trying to make the child do things which the child does not want to do but the parent wants him to do is also true. And if the child does not want to study or does not want to work and the parent is forcing the child to work, that is not pressure. That is discipline.
Correct.
That is discipline. The child cannot say, I am not feeling like studying, I'll just laze around and watch TV. And the parent kicks him and makes him study. That is not pressure, that is discipline.
Yes, absolutely.
If the child says, I want to do a particular course, and the parents say, it is my dream that you have to do this,
that
is pressure.
But today, in the first part that you mentioned, making discipline, certain schools, because I asked one school when I was choosing a school, will you teach discipline? They said, no. So I just said no. I said no to admission. I didn't say anything. I said no. The another parent told me, you should teach discipline at home. Then why am I sending him to school? If I'm sending him to school means I am not able to teach him at the home. So the way you mentioned, certain things has to be schooled, certain things has to be trained to achieve the discipline. Yeah.
It should all be in alignment, sir.
Yes.
The child should be made to realize the need to be disciplined.
Correct.
The parent should live a life of discipline so that the child models on them.
Yes, this is another important.
And the school should constantly reinforce what is the right way of leading a social life. Discipline is for what? Discipline is to ensure that we have a organized social life.
Environment should not be disturbed.
Correct. Because we are living as a community, we are living as a society. Discipline and all those rules and regulations, all those things are to ensure that everybody lives in a minimum standard of safety, security, and comfort and happiness.
Yes.
So as long as these things are being disturbed, those things are told as wrong.
Yeah.
If it is a jungle,
you live
however you want to
Nobody
live.
cares.
Nobody bothers. But if it is a society, you have to comply to certain set of standards of the society. So
Adjustments.
parents have to live that. Parents cannot say, I am not able to make my child get away from mobile phone. You do it.
Both has
But
to
I have to be on the mobile phone. I have to watch reels. I have to watch web series. I'm telling my child to do homework while I am watching web series and watching him also.
not
That doesn't work. So
It has to be
parents have to
togetherness.
live the life that they are expecting the child to do.
Definitely.
Child has to be made to understand why it is important. The school has to keep reinforcing that.
Yes.
So school cannot say it is the parents' job. Parents cannot say
School's
it
job.
is the school's job.
Together.
In between, child will feel like both of you fight. I will I will do whatever I want.
So when two people fight, the third person gets the benefit.
Here it's two people fight. The third one, who is the purpose of both these people fighting, will lose.
The life. Correct. So generally everyone compares. Okay, if for example, I'm comparing myself to another person, why I'm not like this and all. So is it a good or a bad?
What do you gain, sir? See, there are two types of people. Okay, let's say you are an exceptional person, studies wise. When you compare yourself with somebody who is doing better than you, you feel the urge to do a little more and improvise. Let's say I am a very average student or a below average student. If I look at you who is performing exceptionally, I'll start thinking that success is beyond my capability. I'll leave it. And how many people are in that category where comparison can give them a kick to perform better? Very small percentage of people.
Correct.
1 or 2%. Now reverse it. Comparison. Think about, let's say, I constantly keep reflecting upon how I am. Have I done something better than what I did yesterday? I feel good about it. If I fall down from my own standards, I tell myself to rise up and progress.
Correct.
So keep checking yourself against the benchmark what you have set for yourself. Don't compare it with others. Two dangerous diseases in not only in children, but among population in general, which will prevent most of the people from progressing. The two diseases are expectations and comparison. Both will not help, because we generally tend to expect more than what we can actually achieve. And comparison will make us feel more restless and anxious, worried, preventing us from performing. So keep away both. Both are bad, though it can help some people in certain situations. But in general, comparison and expectations will cause negative impact for most of the people.
It should be like a salt. How much ever it is required, you should use it.
Yes.
Super. So generally, in any education system or in a whole life cycle of what I think 16 years is an education life that every child goes through if they complete engineering or anything generally.
16 years now, children complete by the time they finish their 12th standard. There is 4 years before first standard.
True. So the total duration of education around, like, they start at 6, they'll end at 18 is a 12th, then
Plus 4.
plus 3 or 3 to 5, depends on the professional course that they choose. So what parents should what parents should stop saying at the time of exams?
Stop saying at the time of exams. Now, you see, in our country, exams are considered as the objective, which is wrong. Now, if I am preparing for the exam as the purpose of my preparation, then I fail because I am taking exams every week. Preparation becomes fragmented, broken. Okay. So, preparation should be continuous. Exam should be a stage in the course of your preparation. So, I don't prepare for the exam, I take the exam. There is a whole lot of difference between preparing for the exam and taking the exam. So my preparation is continuous. Whenever there is an exam, I go with a mindset to see how I can do. It's like a game of cricket. You don't go with the preparation of how you should perform on the game. You will go with the mindset that I will play according to the merit of the ball.
It's a continuous improvement.
Yeah. If you go with that mindset, eventually in the overall match, you would have done better. Or if the conditions were tough, you would have done something. You stay.
Yes.
Rahul Dravid. He will stay.
He'll stay.
If he stays, he will score.
He'll manage.
So,
He'll not.
Parents' advice to the children during exams or during preparation also is Don't bother about whether you are prepared or not. Just face it, play it without any anxiety. Whatever happens, we accept.
Correct.
You don't have to be satisfied, but you have to be happy with whatever you have done. So being happy makes you feel good about what your journey has been. And not being satisfied will keep you agile and motivated to work for improvement. It's reverse. People are constantly unhappy. So what are you working for?
Individual choice. If you want to be happy, you'll be happy.
Yeah. Be happy with what you have done.
Correct.
Don't be satisfied. Constantly keep working for something better.
True.
That is absolutely fine. But if the means don't make you happy, the end will not make you happy, because you are constantly looking for that momentary kick, which out of 10 times, we are likely to lose 9 times. We win 1 out of 10.
True.
If you are doing something big.
Generally, what parents should do, or what parents should nurture their kid? What are the things that they should keep on reminding them, or more often they should say?
There are 4 aspects, sir. 3 things if parents can ensure, the 4th thing children will automatically ensure. Ahara, Vihara, with Nidra, Vidya. Okay. Food, activities, sleep, meaning rest, and education. If education has to be proper, Ahara, Vihara, Nidra should be right. Parents have to, and it is their duty to ensure that the child and the entire family is getting right kind of food. Let the parents who are watching this do an audit of the food habit of their own home. Okay. Until you fix this food activities, do you as a family consider exercise as a part of your daily routine? Do you consider play as a part of your daily routine outdoor? You should. That is the second aspect. Vihara. Exercise, some form of physical activity, and play as a part of daily life. Number 3, rest. How many of you have the sleep hygiene? You sleep at the same time, wake up at the same time. Everybody knows 2 hours before sleep time, finish eating.
Correct.
2 hours before sleep time, no screen exposure. If these 3 things are not being taken care of by parents, the education of the child will be destroyed. And if the child still succeeds in education, it is in spite of what the parents have done, not because of what the parents have done. All right. So you don't have to be educated. You don't have to be super knowledgeable. You don't have to have a lot of money. Nothing. Take care of food habits of your family. Take care of physical activities of your family. Take care of rest of your family. Rest, sleep. Education will automatically fall into place. You are a family of absolute indiscipline. You want your children to be disciplined. How hypocritical can you be?
It has to be led by the
Led
example.
by the parents. So parents are constantly considering their duty to be of advising the children and punishing the children. No, look at yourself. No, are you healthy? What do you eat? How is your sleeping habit? How is your fitness routine?
Same question. What you ask for the kid, or
See,
ask yourself
yes.
first.
See,
Are you
initially when the
disciplined?
child is happy, small, young, the child will not notice.
Correct.
Your child, no, intelligent by default.
Yeah.
So they will start noticing. Whatever you say, they will immediately look at you and they will in their mind map you.
Correct.
So what you say has value when what you say and what they see has more alignment. If there is more deviation from what you say to what they see, you will start falling in their eyes. And it's natural, sir. It's natural.
It's an environment.
Yes. So parents have to take care of rest of the things, not the studies. For studies, they have their school, they have their teachers, they have their training methods. Friends are there. They will do. Yes. You don't have to bother about their studies. You bother about your home.
How important is friends?
Very important. For children to grow a free, uninhibited, non-judgmental group where they can just be themselves and do all their silly things, where nobody is constantly telling them, don't do this and all that. That's very healthy for them to grow up.
What kind of a ecosystem is good for anybody to grow? Forget child or anyone. Even for us also, we are also growing every day. So what kind of environment as an individual should look for? or they should create. Forget look for, how I should create an environment for myself. Because every individual is same.
Sir, look at your units of existence. For everybody, their unit of existence is their family,
Correct.
their home. And extended to that, their workplace. You have a small group of people who are your own people in your workplace. Beyond that, it is more diverse and more transactional interactions. Or if you have some good social networks or social groups. So look at your units of existence and try to bring in the right kind of habit patterns within that group. Let's say your family, again, the same things. Ahara, Vihara, Nidra. Make it a rule in the family that everybody, it cannot be the husband wants to be unhealthy and the wife wants to be healthy. And the husband tells the wife that if you want to be healthy, you do what you want. Don't disturb me. Can't happen that way. It can happen if it is a unrelated group of people where you can do whatever you want, she will do whatever she wants. But when it is a unit of coexistence, everybody should align. So everybody should sit and come to a common minimum program, like a political grouping to run a government. You have to make the common minimum program.
Most important line in Indian people.
What you eat, what you don't eat, how you eat, what kind of food is prepared at home, what kind of activities you do together. When do you sleep? It should be a rule.
Yes.
Sleep at that time. So these three things is what we have to keep working on. The more common things we have to do, not related to career or not related to our interests and the things, the more day-to-day living related things that we do in common, the more we bond as a group, and that becomes the shock absorber for people in their lives.
So
for all this, doesn't cost money. You don't have to be rich. You don't have to be educated. You don't need to have a good job. Nothing.
It will not cost a single penny.
So for people who tell God is unfair, there is so much of discrimination. There is so much of problems.
Yeah.
All that is true. But everything that is required for anybody to move from wherever they are to wherever they want to reach is available freely.
Yes.
God is very fair in that aspect.
He has given everyone equal time.
Time is there. You can decide what you want to do.
Yes. If you don't do, it's all done.
You can take care of however you want you to take care. You cannot say I need food is common.
Yes.
I want to eat in a 5-star, depends on your affordability.
Correct. For that, you need to work hard. You need to make yourself.
So everybody should work. It is not demography specific or class specific or gender specific, age specific. Nothing. Take care of your food, take care of your activities, take care of your sleep.
So what is the difference in parenting, Indian parenting, with Western parenting or foreign parenting? What is your observation?
Indian as in what we see today, or Indian in true sense?
Indian as a true sense. Not today. Today's is what you call, it's a cocktail.
Yeah. See, Indian in the true sense, the family or parents are the custodians of samskara or the value systems, samskriti, your practices, your traditions, your culture, and a sense of bharatiyata or a sense of patriotism. So this is the Indian parent who is a custodian. And there is vidya, education, which is delivered through a guru, not the instructor kind of data transferring humans. A guru who works on transformation of the individual from the one who has potential to the one who has competencies. Then there is the Raja or the king who will give opportunities for this individual to use the competencies for the welfare of the Rajya, for the nation. Now to bring it to the current context, family should work towards instilling the values of the family. You have a family, no? You have your tradition.
Yes.
You have your ancestry. So that's the beauty of Indian education. The value systems are family specific.
Correct.
The traditions are family specific. There is so much diversity. So what people say, the annihilation of castes, you have to eliminate castes from the country and make everything uniform. Not possible. Caste is an identity. It is a collection of thought process, collection of practices, and a collection of rituals and your living rules and guidelines. That will tell you how you should conduct your life. What we need to eliminate is the sense of superiority or inferiority among different kinds of practices. But this diversity is beautiful. So Indian parenting should be have a sense of understanding, go deep, understand your own family, understand your own traditions, understand your own rituals, bring it back. Okay, bring it back and let your children learn that.
Correct.
Identify a good guru. Entrust your children's education, or which should be transformation, to a guru, not the systems where there is data transfer that is happening. And who is a guru, or which is a gurukula or a school which will transform that? That which focuses on these 5 dimensions: physical, intellectual, emotional, social, spiritual.
Correct.
It is not too difficult to identify. What is the school doing to make my kids strong physically? You can see. If the school has 1 games period per week, avoid that school. Your child should play every day where they were various friends in school. So, family takes care of samskara, samskriti, and a sense of patriotism. Gurukula, gurus take care of transformation of the child. The system, Rajya, will take care of providing opportunities for the competencies to be used for the welfare of the nation.
True.
This is an interconnected ecosystem. Bharat is the solution for every problem of the world. So, there is no comparison to the Western models. It appears popular, it appears successful because of the wealth that the Western models have created. So, everything that is popular need not be right. Homogeneous societies are unnatural. When everybody are thinking the same way, everybody have the set of same values, everybody follows the same practices. Everybody's God is the same. Unnatural. It can't be. So your way of connecting with the power that drives you is more natural for you. So you see that, sir. So there are good practices in the Western world also, where there is less of pressure, less of imposition, less of emotional drama around the child's life, where the child is considered as a prize for the family. They are the prestige of the family. All of that doesn't exist in the Western world. So, like I said,
We have to bring the good.
yes, bring in the good elements. Western societies are also beautiful. They are also family centric. If you look at America, they value family a lot. Unlike what we think that Americans are, we think that
They
they
have
are all
learned from
valueless
us.
people. No,
They have learned from good from us, so they impose only bad on others.
no. Human beings are by default designed to create those kind of systems.
Correct.
So whether it is in America or in Africa or in Australia or in Europe, wherever it is, people are good.
Yes.
There are good practices. So Western parenting is more liberal. Indian parenting has become more distorted. Bharatiya parenting is what we have to go back to. So be global in your approach to the progress that you make, but roots should be strengthened so that it nurtures you to grow as big as you want.
Correct.
So good exists in both, sir.
Generally, there is a kind of a fear. So I term that as a student fear. And there is another thing that I have written in my magazine called Abroad Now, student fear economy. So how do you see this?
There are 3 ingredients to exploit people: aspirations, anxiety, fear. Now, all 3 are there in the student and their families. They have aspirations to do well. They are anxious about whether they will be able to do it or not. They are afraid of what if it doesn't go well. Mix all 3 in the right portion and you tell people that I will help you overcome all this. They are ready to pay money. So, this is a real danger that we are seeing now. Like everything is being commercialized, education also has become very commercialized. There is commerce involved, no doubt. There should be money because there are a lot of expenses involved
Yes.
in everything.
Yes.
But money making being the objective leads to unnecessarily filling up dreams and aspirations in the minds of people who may not be ready to fulfill those aspirations. So that gets dangerous. So what you said as the fear economy, the danger of fear economy is it leads to people believing themselves to be incapable or incompetent, and waste increases distress in the minds of people, increases mental health problems, increases suicidal tendencies, because dejection makes people feel worthless.
Correct.
So fear economy is dangerous. Parents and students have to be cautious of that. Be clear about what you want and know that you can get everything you want, especially in today's times, without having to spend exuberant amount of money for that. Knowledge freely available,
Correct.
resources freely available,
True.
excellent guidance or mentorship also available if you want it.
Yes.
So there is no need to spend a lot of money on anything.
What is your advice when they spend, when they become a fear and they start spending? Is there any tip that you can provide? One or two tips?
Make an assessment of what is being offered to you. Let's say somebody says, just pay me money, I will make you get everything. Just like we get those advertisements, no diet, no exercise, lose 10 kgs in 10 weeks. Not even 10 weeks, lose 7 kgs in 7 days. All right. Is it practical? Is it based in science? Is it naturally possible? Don't fall for dreams that are sold without the cost of it being spoken about. And the cost of it is always what you have to do, not just what you pay. So every aspiration that is sold to you should have an assessment of what is the cost in terms of your effort, in terms of your commitment, clearly defined. And then pay for what you want, because everything has to be paid for.
Correct.
Nothing comes for free. But that what you are paying for should not be for something that is designed to exploit you. So that is my advice. Clarity, assessment of yourself, assessment of what is being given. Don't look at what results are being promised. Look at what is the process that might take you to that result if followed.
So, coming to your profession and coming to the students' growth, once they complete 10, they'll become 11th and 12th. So, nowadays, this kind of competitive exams are too much. How to choose which one is right? There is no right or wrong, but how to choose whether which competitive exams suits for kid, for their child and their parents? How to choose?
Every competitive exam is designed as a gate or an entry gate for certain courses or certain professions. So the choice of whether to prepare for a particular competitive exam should be determined by the interest of the child in those professions. So if there is no clarity about the interest, they can explore, they can find out what is it that they can do for a lifetime. So the aspirations will determine whether they want to take it up or not. Somebody who is very analytical, somebody who is very good with solving abstract problems will not be enjoying professions where linear thinking is required. Protocol based activity is required. Let's say medicine is a protocol based profession.
Correct.
You follow protocols.
Yes.
There is very little room for innovation or
Experiments.
improvisation or experimentation with what you are doing.
Correct.
You follow established protocols. Somebody who is a mathematical brain, just because he gets a medical seat doesn't mean he will excel in that. He will be frustrated in that because his mathematical mind requires stimulation, problems to solve.
Correct.
So they need to understand what their natural inclinations are, what their abilities are, and map it to what kind of abilities are expected in a particular profession, and then reverse engineer and see what is the entry gate for that and determine which entrance exam to prepare for. So don't go by just you're intelligent, so you take up science. You're average student, you take up commerce. You're useless, you take up arts. But today, the CEO of WhatsApp
Is an arts.
is an arts graduate. No, those myths are
Creativity.
broken.
The creativity.
So everybody is capable of everything.
Because
It's not, sir.
creativity is required in business.
Yeah.
It cannot be a rule book.
Yeah. And it's not that suddenly he became that. No, there is
many things.
there is a many years of hard work, commitment,
Yes.
focused preparation.
Definitely. That vision of convincing, vision of explaining others about their business, that is also more important.
Yeah.
Because if you can't explain it, what you're thinking, then that business has failed. So that is also important. So when it comes to in India, for a competitive exams, we have engineering based separate. There are institution based. For medical, now there is a uniformed thing. So if a student prepares, what all things that they should look into it?
Preparation for
NEET.
NEET is a long exam. 180 questions, 3 hours, 720 marks. It is testing more than what the subjects are training you for. It is testing your resilience, it is testing your patience, the calmness with which you handle a challenging situation, attributes of a doctor. So, students have to work on developing the attributes that make them a doctor while they are preparing for the exam. That gives them a better possibility of doing well in the exam also. Just preparing on the subjects will not help them.
Correct.
So, working on developing the right habits. Always I say this, there is a rule. You can consider it as a rule, not as a defined rule. Be, do, have. If you want to become a doctor, be like a doctor. What they do, what are their habit patterns, how their attitudes are, what mindset they have. Do what they do on a day-to-day basis. Live the life of a doctor. Don't go out and start treating patients. Their routine,
Behavioral
how they
skills.
are handling their day-to-day life. Then do what is supposed to be done to cross the barrier to reach there. Most of the students are just focusing on preparing for the exams.
Correct.
But they should develop the habit patterns, the attitudes, and the mindset of a doctor while they are preparing. That will help them prepare well for the exam also. Likewise, for engineering or people who are preparing for civil services. If somebody talks to you and you are preparing for civil services, if you have been like a civil servant, an IAS officer, if you tell somebody that I am an IAS officer, they should believe you. They should not feel like not possible. No. So be, do, have.
So, generally in India, almost 25 lakh students write NEET exam. For around 130,000 seats are there altogether, excluding the dental and other things. So, what is the percentage of students are very serious to crack?
I'll tell you one statistic, sir. 50th percentile is the cutoff for giving ranks. Okay. For a student of Karnataka, crossing 550 to 600 marks will get them a government medical seat in a government college or a private college, depending on their category.
Okay.
50th percentile is 140 to 145 marks for general category students. That means among the students who have taken the exam, 50% of the people who have taken the exam have scored less than 140, 145 in the general category. SC/ST might have a little lower 50th percentile cutoff, like that. Assuming everybody is at that 140, 145 mark, that means half of the students who are appearing for the exams
Is out.
are scoring less than 140, 145. So the competition is only between a few people. Consider, let's say, 20% of the people to 25% of the people are serious aspirants doing what is to be done. By serious aspirants, I mean who are putting in the effort every day, not who are just jumping around telling that I'm going to XYZ coaching center, I'm going to XYZ college, feeling like they are doctors because they have got into some coaching center. So serious aspirants are 20 to 25% you can consider. That's all is the competition, sir.
Okay. So then why the students get pressure when there is 1/4 of the competition? Then it is like 1 out of 6 seats. 6 students are competing 1 seat. It is nothing. Then why students and parents are feeling the pressure?
I want to sell something to you
Mm-hmm.
which you yourself can make and eat. If I want you to buy my food, I should make you believe that it is something that you cannot make. Correct.
Marketing.
Marketing. See, if I want to make money out of the entire aspiration people have, I should make them believe that it is impossible for them to prepare by themselves. So people start believing that some coaching is required, some coaching center I have to join. So that is done. Over. Now everybody believes that coaching is required. I have to join XYZ coaching center. Now after this, the competition is between who is the best. So I got rank 1, top 10, I have 3 ranks. That is why people who set the papers leak the papers. So it is all around economy.
Yeah.
There is a small peanut. I show it like a mountain and say, look, boss, this is a mountain. You cannot eat it alone. I will break it to you. I'll break it and make it into small pieces which you can easily eat. Look, the people who have eaten the groundnut that I have broken and given to them, look how successful they are. But because it takes a lot of tools and a lot of expertise to break this mountain into small pieces, make it edible for you, costs money. So you have to pay for that. That's all.
But isn't that unethical?
Unethical, yes. Vyaparam droha chintanam.
But
That is the thought.
But in India, means the institution or education system should be non-profit.
That is the law. You look at the educationists.
Yeah.
Correct? No, education is everybody who is making a lot of money in by whatever means want to become educationists, and educationists are getting into everything else also. So, but everything is non-profit.
But parents are ready to spend money on coaching centers than spending money to build their child to achieve it. What is it that lacking in the parent decision?
The awareness that all of this is Maya. Alright, like Shankaracharya says, no? Brahma Satya Jagad Mithya. Truth is there. Realizing that this is all illusion is itself the awareness that it is truth. Now the problem is, what do you want the parents to do? Look at the pathetic psychological state. You understand marketing, you are an entrepreneur. We are talking about something, and today, the entire day, we keep getting advertisements about that item on our phone, on our devices. Pushing people to buy things have gone to such deeper levels that it is all being played at the subconscious level. People are being manipulated. People are being molded into making decisions. Nobody is acting out of free will.
True.
So parents want their children to progress.
Correct.
Education is necessary. Aspirations are there. Everything is competitive. My child has to become successful in this competition. So I will choose whatever best is available rather than risk my child's future by doing something else.
So basically, in marketing, you just mentioned a word. So most of the people who are advertising or a celebrities, or you take anyone who uses their face to sell something, I don't think they use those products.
Isn't that unethical?
Correct. But
if
why
you are a
people
person
buy
who
it?
people believe, who people are accepting, and you are selling pan masala,
Even today, I think recent advertisement, even MS Dhoni coming and talking on behalf of a coaching center. So I don't think that is a good way of a leader to do.
should not do. Should not do. If you are endorsing something, it means that you are putting your credibility on that.
Yes.
You should endorse. See, if you have built some social capital, you are a celebrity, people follow you, you should endorse. You should use that capital to benefit the society.
Correct.
Not take money, use your capital and take money
Yes.
to benefit a business, and in turn you're also making more money. No. Endorsements by celebrities should be for things they believe in.
Correct.
Not for businesses.
Even one case, I'll tell you, there is one celebrity I don't want to mention. He was a brand ambassador for a study abroad company. The students went through that company to Germany. All the students have been sent back. There is a news of 4,500 students coming back. Their visas got. Then these students have transferred from one university to other university. Few they came back. Few they suffered. So yeah, this is a case of, I don't know how this will be taken by the government to act on it. Not even a single media has reported this.
Small people, no sir. 4,000 people, small number.
But the money
people
is
people who have gone out of their free will to a different country. There are 100 reasons that can be given
to
explain this and say this was beyond our capacity. And there are situations also where things will be beyond one's capacity. No? So even overseas education, when people go out, they should look at the people who are helping them, guiding them. Are they sincere? Are they honest? Are they telling you the problems openly?
Correct.
Are they helping you to make a fair, informed decision? Or are they just pushing you into making a decision so that it fulfills their own objective
Agenda.
of sending more and more students to the different universities?
So when a student choose a coaching center and that coaching center just affiliate to some college, is it a right way for that student to choose that kind of a coaching centers?
About 10-15 years ago, it used to be something that the government used to criticize, government used to try and stop. but now it has become very common practice. I don't think we can stop that. So colleges become the center of affiliation, coaching centers drive the entire academics, and students are preparing out of their free will, and parents are choosing that model to prepare for competitive exams. And this is mostly for courses which are associated with competitive exams.
Correct.
Otherwise, it is still traditional centers only. So I think we need to relook at the structure of institutions where competitive examinations are a focus.
Correct.
So that policy relook also is required. People who prepare for, let's say, JEE, they want more focus on JEE preparation. Government also should facilitate that kind of courses to be created.
So when a student fails in a competitive exams, how would you address them, or what would you say for them to get motivated, at least to look for something else or prepare for next?
Competitive exams are by their nature an outcome of deficiency, shortage. There is something, a large number of people want the same thing. Even if everybody is equally competent and equally well prepared, it is only a few people who get it. That is the reality of it. Even before somebody starts preparing, they need to be aware that failure is a higher probability than success in these exams.
Correct.
You might be very intelligent and you might have the higher chance of success, but failure is a real probability, real possibility also. Be prepared for it. And when you fail, you have to think whether you want to put in more time to give another attempt, or it's like stocks. You need to have a stop loss check. When do you stop this? So some people will have resilience to go for 3, 4, 5 years. Some people will say, I'll give one good attempt. If I don't get through, I'll do something else. So one realization and understanding people need to have is, if it is career and earning that you're looking at as a outcome of whatever courses you do, that is possible in anything. This is an aspiration you have. Pursue it, do it to the best of your ability. If you don't get through, only two choices. Do you want to give another shot at it? Or do you want to do something else which you have access to with whatever level of preparation and accomplishment you have done? So understanding of reality will help them handle this.
Generally, students study or prepare for exams out of curiosity or out of fear?
Compulsion. Mostly. A large number of them prepare for it with aspirations. Good number of them prepare with aspirations. For many of them, it is compulsion. For most of the students, it is obligation. If you don't complete the exam, there are consequences at home, in their family, in their friend circle. So, ideally, everybody should prepare for exams with a sense of commitment and with a sense of fulfillment, which does not happen because of the flawed system, flawed examination. That's all another dimension of looking at it.
When a student fails or he want to give a reattempt, so there is a loss of year. How the emotional well-being is required at that time?
Failure is a part of any preparation, any competition. Realizing that even before you start preparation and grounding to that reality is important. Not building unnecessary dreams about being successful and life changing and all of that. Keeping grounded to reality. Being grounded to reality will help them prepare better. And if they fail, again, the question is, what next? Do I prepare again or do I do something else? And in all this, like I told initially, working without expectation, like in Bhagavad Gita, karmanyavadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana, that thing. Do your work. If things turn out to be good, good. If it doesn't, see what best can be done with what has happened. So it is a mindset, sir. There are 3 mindsets that I constantly keep talking about. One is outcome agnostic process centrism. That comes from karmanyavadhikaraste. Second one is absolute sense of dedication. The third one is internal locus of control. There are many people who say, I have so many problems. It is because of that I'm not able to prepare well. If all of this were not there, I would have done something. Parents tell their children, no? If we had the conditions like we have given you, we would have done wonders, but nobody will have the conditions like how they want it. So doing what best is possible within the available means and resources is a mindset.
Correct.
So training people on mindset is essential to help them handle failure in life. That is where our education is lacking. Content centric, competence agnostic. It should be reversed. It should be competence centric, content agnostic.
So how can we separate child's identity apart from the exams? Or how can we separate child's identity from one exam results?
Child's identity should not at all be linked to the exam. A child is an individual. Examination is a task. Examination is one pursuit. The child has played, let's say, 100 games in childhood. The child's identity is not linked to any of the game that he has played. Likewise, the child will have 100 different pursuits through his life. How can the identity be linked to a pursuit? The identity is of the individual. So, shifting the focus from label centric identity to individual centric, holistic approach to look at an individual is the right way. Again, you are asking questions which are more systemic.
Yeah.
So,
It has to cover all angles.
it is simple
It's very
but very complex.
Yes. Simple is not simple.
Yeah.
Not obvious. What should parents remember if their child does not clear the exam?
You should know that your child is born with infinite potential, like every human being is born on the planet. Not because your child is special, every human being is born with infinite potential. The child doesn't clear the exam, okay. See, exam has been the focus. Has the child been the focus? Continue to nurture the 5 dimensions, not only during childhood, forever throughout life. And at different times, there will be different challenges that the individual take up. Some we will succeed, some we will fail, depending on the magnitude of the challenge in comparison to the competence that we have. But if our focus is constantly to keep working on improving ourselves on the 5 dimensions, and from time to time, whatever is the challenge that comes our way, if it is in our domain of interest, take it. If it is successful, very good, we move to the next level. If not, keep working on improvisation. So, if parents understand and realize and accept that life is a continuum and not a target to achieve, they will automatically accept whatever the result is. If everything else depends on this result, then there is a problem. Nothing depends on any outcome of anything. There will be advantages that we get because of a particular outcome. There will be certain advantages we may not get because of not getting that outcome. In spite of that, if the individual is being focused upon, there is continuous growth. We may not reach where we wanted to reach, but we will reach where we are supposed to reach. That clarity parents should have. Don't look at short term. It is a transient life. In that transient life, pursuit of personal excellence should be the focus. Whatever professional excellence or social excellence we achieve is moments of joy. Even if we don't achieve, it's okay. No problem. Let the child grow, progress.
So, in this case of writing exams, competitive exams, clearing, taking admissions, so can any student or parent think out of the box? Okay, let my child does not write these exams, or because he's not prepared to take that kind of pressure. Can they think of outside options? What are the alternative options that you can suggest?
They can. See, there are multiple options to achieve the same objective. Make an audit of what your current level of preparation is, what your resources are, and what options exist. So what do you want is, if it is fixed, there are A, B, C, D, 4 means of getting it. Let's say medicine we will consider. I want my child to become a doctor. There are different possibilities of becoming a doctor, getting into a medical college. Now you take the hardest possibility, hardest route, take NEET, get a good score, get into a government medical college. That route will make you spend less money. You have a lot of money. Let your child do the minimum required formality of getting through with the exam with minimum required marks. you buy a medical seat through the management quota, which is available. So I don't say that is wrong.
Correct.
That is a choice people have made to buy a medical seat that is available legally, because they don't want their child to go through the struggle of the entrance exam, or the child may not be capable of clearing the entrance exam. Doesn't mean the child may not do well in medicine.
Correct.
And another option, people might feel like there is medical education available across the globe. Indian students are eligible. I will take that route. But that route comes with one more challenge of clearing the NMC exam, National Medical Council exam,
FMG.
after MBBS,
Correct.
which they are aware of it.
Yes.
They choose to take that route. Fair. Do it. Whatever legal means are available to fulfill your aspiration, fulfill those aspirations based on what resources you can mobilize and what is the kind of effort you are willing to put in. So if I am somebody who don't have the affordability to get a seat through legally available expensive routes, I will work hard and get it through the NEET route, government seat. I have reasonable affordability, not enough to buy a medical seat in management quota in India. I might choose to get a seat outside of the country,
So I'll go.
which is available. I'll take it. But one risk here is overseas education has to be taken through people who are reliable and trustworthy. You cannot, because there are a lot of people who try to drive people through these channels. So a competent person, a qualified person should drive that.
In India, generally, the medicine or engineering courses are like safest bet that parents think. So, what is your view on it?
Slowly it is changing. Earlier it used to be parents would feed those dreams into the minds of children based on their aspirations. And the exposure for children on various different courses or different careers was less. Now and anytime further, the exposure to children on different career options will be high. It is high now also. So it is slowly changing, and I would say parents should not impose their aspirations or their dreams on the children. They can give their opinions, they can share their aspirations and all. But yes, children should, by information, by understanding, make an informed choice of their careers. Now there are tools available to explore if they have an aptitude for those kind of careers. They can do that also to check whether they might be able to survive there or not. So they should make the choice. Parents should not impose.
When should student consider of thinking options outside India?
When they cannot get a course of their choice within India, maybe due to competition or low scores or whatever, they don't get through the cutoffs. So that will eliminate their possibility of getting a merit seat, which is in high demand, heavy competition. Second, if their affordability is not enough to get a seat in management quotas in India, I'm talking about medicine, others also. On the third aspect is, if they are super intelligent, the Indian education system is not good enough for their intelligence to get trained. That is when we see students moving out to overseas education, foreign education in Ivy League institutions, top universities of the world. So it is not only students who are underperforming or not able to get through with the Indian system go out. Overperforming students, highly intelligent students, aspirational students for whom the Indian education ecosystem is not good enough, they also move out. So when either you cannot get what you want in India, or when what is available in India is not good enough for you, choose what you want outside,
Wherever it is available.
wherever it is available, because it's a global community now.
Correct.
But take a legal route, take a well calculated route to it.
So, what is your view on students going abroad for education?
India has a very diverse range of educational possibilities, but the quality of higher education in India is not good enough. However, we love our country, how much ever we are attached to our country, we have to be grounded in reality that the quality of technical education, research-based education in our country is not good. IITs are very good in India for engineering and technical education, but IITs are not anywhere close to being among the top technological institutions of the world. So, students are free to choose their aspirations and the routes through which their aspirations can be fulfilled. So, I don't have any judgment on good or bad about what their choices are. Being aspirational is good. Working to fulfill the aspirations is good. Looking at something as an escape route from competition is bad. If you don't have the tendency to work hard here, you want to choose an overseas education because it is easily available, if at all it is like that. And so you don't prepare for your exams here and then go out. The tendency of not preparing for the challenge at hand will continue and you will turn out to be a mediocre graduate wherever you study.
Yeah, challenging is always required.
So you have to work towards becoming better in whatever you are doing. So that tendency is there. You don't get it here, move out, do well there, no problem. No problem for the top performers. They move to top class universities and
Anyway,
they
they'll
will
perform.
anyways perform. So people who choose overseas education because they are not getting something in India, they are at a risk of failing in higher education also, because the tendency of not working hard, which was shown in India, will continue. The person continues, even if the country changes.
See, when it comes to a merit student, anyway, they'll perform. So, what about, for example, a mediocre student? He's able to take the pressure, but he's not able to get a seat in his dream of university or something. Would you suggest him to study here or take a pathway to reach wherever he gets his dream of course or university or something?
For a hardworking student, there is a real possibility that even multiple attempts with hard work and dedication might not get him a seat because the competition is too high in India. If a student is hardworking and aspirational and dedicated and committed, taking a path outside of India to do their education is not wrong. Don't do it as an escape route because it costs money. So look at your family's finances also. There is cost involved, there are sacrifices of the family involved.
Correct.
Do you justify that? Do you have the commitment to be committed to the course when nobody is watching?
Correct.
Your family doesn't watch you, your relatives don't see what
No
you're
one.
doing. Nobody who can report to your family is watching you.
Yeah.
Do you have the internal control of staying focused on your course and not just get deviated
Deviates.
from your path? If you have that, go pursue it, no problem. Globally, it is open now.
One personal kind of a question. Is it worth to spend like 40 lakhs for an engineering seat in India or going abroad?
Karnataka has 1.3 lakh engineering seats, government approved merit seats. And spending 40 lakhs to buy an engineering seat through management quota means that the student is a mediocre student. I would tell that student to stop his higher education. Don't even pursue education further, because you either have to change to be committed and then pursue a higher education just for the sake of a degree. Don't pursue your higher education anymore.
That might be even parents' dream also. If, for example, I got 10,000 in a ranking, so I get in a
10,000 rank in engineering is good now. You'll get a good college only.
yeah, but still, I'm just telling. So ranking 10,000, I may not be able to get in the top class colleges that we call. So when my parents are ready to spend 40 lakhs or 50 lakhs to get a seat, but is it worth with the curriculum that we have, with the ecosystem of placing a jobs, with the salaries that we get? So is it a worth to spend? It's a balancing of ROI, because when any parent talks to send them to another country, they talk ROI. But when they're ready to spend money in India, why they will not ask the same question?
ROI for education itself is a big question.
I agree.
If you look at it in terms of economics,
Because I learn alphabets in LKG, still I'm using it.
the return on investment on education is not just about the money that you earn out of it, but it is also important because education is considered as a gateway to your class transition.
Correct.
So if it is not helping you become better socioeconomically, then education has been a wasteful expenditure.
Correct.
So that is a different calculation to make altogether. But spending money for getting a seat here in a decent college, let's say if somebody is paying 40 lakhs for a engineering seat, it would be in a good college only, a decent college, a decent course. Now, if the parents are ready to spend that, the advantage of the child being here, where they have access to the child has access to the parents, it is our own country. The risk of staying somewhere where there is no support system, or we don't know what are the challenges, that justification they have. Somebody might choose that it's useless here. Let my child go and study in a better country where there is better education. Let's say Germany, somebody wants to go for technical education. Germany is considered to be superior in technical education than India.
True.
Maybe some Indian top colleges might be better than Germany's colleges in
Both the sides
both are there.
Both are there.
So as long as people are making their choices with right kind of guidance, being informed, and they are able to justify their choices based on logic and not emotions, their choices are to be respected. So I would respect somebody who go out to study with their logical decision making, the same way as I respect somebody who wants to study here.
Should students go abroad as an escape competition or to pursue right career?
Mix of both. There are good opportunities available. If you are a very aspirational student, high performing student, you go abroad to seek better opportunities. If you are an average student, not able to get through in the competition, but you are willing to work hard, there are many students who cannot get through with competitive exams, entrance exams, but they will do very well in their courses.
Cool.
So if you are that kind of a student, it's okay. You can skip the competition and pursue a course in a decent institution. So a very aspirational student should seek opportunities, better quality of opportunities. Somebody who is willing to work hard but is not able to get through the barrier of the entrance exam can choose it to cut short the competition and move on to the course.
How important is maturity before sending a child abroad?
Maturity is important before sending the child outside of home to college also. So
Yeah.
it is important because when there is nobody to watch you, when there is nobody to tell you what to do, what not to do, nobody to punish you, nobody to criticize you, you're all by yourself. And probably in a country where all sorts of opportunities are available. Not that it is not available in India, but here you at least have the fear of somebody watching what you're doing and you getting exposed. When none of that is available and when none of those checks and balances are available socially, it is very important that the child has that self-awareness of what is right and wrong, what is to be done, what is absolutely not to be done. Those things are important. So it is not only for people going abroad, for everybody, but all the more important for people who are going abroad for pursuing their studies.
So, what should parents prepare emotionally before sending their child to another country?
They will not be able to meet their child whenever they want. Though now, because of technology, they can talk to them, they can have those video calls and all that. And the risk of the child deviating from the right path and getting into unwanted things or potentially dangerous things is definitely there. If the child is also not that and there is the chances of unknown country, a lot of things might happen. So with all of that, the parent should have the sense of balance to let the child go pursue their aspirations and have a faith in the child's grounding that they will do the right things. So emotionally it is not easy for children to send their easy for parents to send their children outside of the country for studies, especially if it is undergraduate studies. Postgraduate studies, they are still okay. So parents need to find that balance, letting the child go to pursue their aspirations versus trying to keep the child safe.
So, you mentioned one thing, when the child goes abroad, nobody is there to watch. Here, there is a fear somebody is watching. So, what is your advice to a youngster to grow themselves, not to be fear of watching someone?
You go into a theater, There are adults in the theater of all age groups. Suddenly the power is cut off. You see how people behave. So the tendency of doing wrong things when you feel that there is nobody to notice or watch is instinct. That is natural. So they have to get the right kind of reinforcements to themselves. Keep telling themselves that these are the things that I will not do absolutely. So you can, uh, clearly define what are the absolute no's. The student has to do that. These are the things I will not do. Let's say I will never do drugs. I will never get into criminal activities. All right. So define what you will not do and stick to it. Whether somebody is watching you or not watching you, those
Stay same.
the guidelines of what is right and wrong, what can be attempted, what should never be attempted, should be clear.
But that should definitely a child will learn from the behavior of a parent.
Maybe parents create the boundary, the values, the pull which will prevent the child from doing wrong things comes from the parents. The love of the parents, the bonding the child has, the sense of guilt the child will feel by doing wrong things, which will make the parents feel sad. All of that parents can give, but every individual is born with some innate tendencies. No?
Correct.
So those tendencies wants to come out. The intellectual management of those tendencies is the child's own training. So a lot of factors.
In recent days, there are so many psychometric tests have come. So what is your view on this psychometric test?
Good as a tool, gives some insights into what we might be having. There are hundreds of tests. There are so many standardized tests that are available to assess variety of things. So they can be used. There are some tests which can be used by public. There are some tests which a psychologist will have to administer, not public directly using it.
Correct.
There are tests which some experts will administer. So depending on what is the purpose of going through the tests, people can make use of these tests that are available. So if I want to just understand what kind of careers that I might succeed in, there are certain tests openly available.
Okay.
If I feel that I might be having some difficulty or disability in learning certain kind of things, there are some specialized tests which will be administered by a specialist to identify that specific deficiency or disability. So tests are available. There is immense research that has gone in the psychological domain of human existence. We should use it as appropriate. But the generic test should not be the guiding force. If let's say I want to become a doctor very badly, that drives my life's purpose, and the test says you may not have the inclination or tendency to become a good doctor. Now the question comes, should I stop pursuing becoming a doctor because the test is telling that I may not do that well in this, or should I anyways go and pursue? The power of human will is very strong.
Yes.
All those tests say that you will fail. If the will is strong, you will succeed. The bumblebee principle. Physics tells that the bumblebee should not fly.
Correct.
But the bumblebee doesn't know that. It wants to fly. It will fly.
It's a will.
Will.
The inner.
Uncontrollable force or the infinite force of the human will.
If you want,
You want, you will get it. Even if you don't get it, you should have the courage to keep working for it for as long as it takes. Because it's your choice. You want it, no? Work for it.
When we say I want it and I'll do it, doesn't it seems overconfidence?
No, it is willing to take it. Take whatever comes in the path of pursuit of getting something. I want it, I'll get it, I'll have it. Might be aspiration, might be hope, desire.
Yeah.
But somebody who is driven by conviction knows the challenges. If let's say you are an intelligent person, you want to become a civil servant, UPSC, 1 out of 20,000 aspirants will get IAS posting.
Correct.
But still you will push for it.
Yeah. Without hope, there is no life.
So not knowing what the challenges are, not knowing what the path is and blindly jumping around is foolishness. But knowing clearly well what are the challenges, and I will anyways pursue, I will anyways go through it. Let the challenges come, I'll face it. That is preparedness, not overconfidence.
So generally, it is like a planned things.
Being ready. I am ready to face all the challenges, but I want this. Again, everybody need not be that.
Correct.
But if somebody is desperately wanting to do something, in spite of challenges, they will do. It's like they tell now, like if you want something badly, the whole world telling you that you can't do it, cannot stop you. If you don't want something, even God coming and telling you to take it, you will not take it. So everybody is in between this. One end of the spectrum is this: absolutely, I don't want something. Other end of the spectrum is I desperately want it at any cost. Everybody is in between the two extremes in some part of the spectrum.
Like Six Sigma and outliers. What does value-based education mean in today's world?
Mostly slogans,
Not in action.
not in action. What is value-based education actually? I interact with a lot of institutional owners, school owners, institutional owners. They put out on their banners, holistic education. What do you mean by that? They say we have these activities, we have dance, we have music, we have these activities. So activities is holistic education, is it? Diverse activities is holistic. Now the whole idea of what is holistic, what values do you want to propagate? So value-based education means that all students who go through a particular set of instructions within that institution for an extended period of time will have a set of common values that will be imbibed in them. Do you define what the values which will be common outcome for every student? So when that is not there, value-based education is more of a slogan in the practical world, but value-based education is the absolute necessity for the real world.
So can values and competitive success go together?
Absolutely. Values will define who you are as a person. Competition determines what you will achieve as a pursuit. So being a good person shouldn't stop you from achieving greater things.
Correct. Are educational institutions doing enough to build a character?
Again, define. Whoever speaks about strong character, good character, what is it? Generic word, no?
Yeah.
What do you mean by good character? So we have to define that. There are all these definitions, sir, in our Bharatiya philosophical ocean. There are all these definitions. What is good character? Somebody who follows Yama of Ashtanga Yoga. Satya, Himsa, Asteya, Aparigraha, Brahmacharya. Somebody who has these 5 attributes or values is a person of good character. And a person of good character is trustworthy. Do the institutions define this? Personality. What is good personality? You just ask. You meet a lot of institutions now, sir. Ask them what is good character, what is good personality.
It changes from individual person.
So very loosely used terms like attitude. People who use the term attitude, ask them to define what attitude is. Many people cannot define what attitude is. We use a lot of things very loosely. It's okay as long as it is being used colloquially. But it is not okay when those things are used institutionally without knowing what is to be done to transform that into outcomes for students.
How do we teach children ambition without arrogance?
Values. The same thing that you are speaking. Now, if I know whatever is my pursuit is just a very small thing. Now, how big is Earth in our galaxy? How big is our galaxy in the universe? The minuscule existence that we are. If we have that understanding, and if we have the right kind of values, we understand what our pursuits are. What value does the money that I hold or the position that I hold has? Correct. So arrogance comes from thinking that what I have or what I am or what I do is bigger than everything else. Mada, they call it, no? Ashtamadas.
How do we teach success without selfishness?
Gandhiji says, when somebody asks him, I disagree with a lot of things about Gandhiji, but this one thing that he says is, they say you are so selfless. How can you be so? He says, I'm absolutely selfish. Absolute selfishness is when I want to be absolutely happy. I can be absolutely happy when everything around me contributes to that happiness. When there is unhappiness all around me, how can I be absolutely happy? So, from individual centric view that I have to be rich, I have to be wealthy, if we create a sense of cooperative and collaborative spirit in people, you have certain set of knowledge, skills, and network.
Correct.
I have some set of knowledge, skills, and network. If both of us work together, both of us have both set of knowledge, skills, and network. Competition is always dangerous. It will destroy everybody who are competing.
Definitely.
So the world has become very competitive, and people look at each other as competitors and opponents. Now it has transitioned to looking at competitors as enemies.
Correct.
True. That is why everybody is failing. So we have to work on building systems within individuals where they start cooperating with each other, collaborating with each other to achieve common goals. So if we start creating ecosystems of education where cooperation and collaboration become the driving force and not competition, everybody will do well in competition when they have to do well.
Correct.
Exam is competition, but until the period that you have to write exam, you have to be operating in cooperation and collaboration.
Yes, you need to learn from others also. You need to talk, you need to ask.
Yes.
Many things. So, what is your one advice to students who are listening to this podcast?
Know that whatever is your pursuit, whatever you are pursuing is for your happiness. You don't have to be the solution for any problem of your family. You are not the cause of any problem of your family or the society. Though your progress will help your family come out of their problems. So helping the family to come out of the problems, being a motivation is good. It will drive you to stay on the path of hard work and progress. But feeling guilty that you have not been able to justify the faith that your family has on you, in spite of being hardworking, is not wrong, is not right. Don't feel guilty about not being able to do things. So, two things students should avoid. See, you work, you put in the absolute hard work that you can, but don't feel guilty about what went wrong as long as your attempts were sincere. Don't regret what you could not do as long as you did the best you could. So, no regret, no repentance doesn't mean being arrogant. Put in your best effort, do the best that you can. Whatever happens, accept it. Work towards becoming better. This is my advice to students.
So, what is your advice for parents?
Don't consider your children as incompetent on one extreme or as infinitely capable of achieving anything that you want them to achieve. Nurture them, let them develop as multifaceted individuals, ensure that they are focused and hardworking, make them hardworking, and let them blossom. Let them blossom. They have an inbuilt seed of growth. Let it grow. Be curious to know what they will transform into, what they will become.
Correct.
Clearly define the boundaries, what they should not do, based on social, moral, and legal parameters. Let them grow. Enjoy. Enjoy their growth. Enjoy their progress. Celebrate that journey with them.
Correct.
Don't live in a constant sense of fear and anxiety.
Somebody will take over.
It poisons the family.
Definitely. So, being you are a educationist and you run an educational institution, school and things. So, what is your advice to stakeholders or a fellow educational institution owners?
Let us redefine what we are delivering. Exam results, yes, will come. For that, we have established systems. But let us look at the student who is not capable of getting those exam results, which is more than 90% of the students in any classroom. Define what are the common outcomes a child will get by passing through the education in your institution, and create policies, processes, and systems to achieve those common outcomes for every student. There should be common outcomes for every student who pass through an education system. And if the only outcome is examination success, then 90 to 95% of the students have failed in the institution.
Correct.
So our job is to create confident, competent, aspirational, committed, patriotic, grounded in values, people with leadership abilities, people who are entrepreneurial, who will contribute to their own progress and contribute to the nation's progress.
True.
We don't have the capacity to judge them. We don't have the right to clip them. Our job is to nurture them. So let us be sincere. Let us nurture. Let us create systems to nurture individuals.
Thank you, sir, for sharing a lot of insights on education, educational institutions, how a parent should nurture their child for them to achieve, not only concentrating on the results. So, on an overall ecosystem, you have put a lot of valuable inputs into the what you call education is there for till the day we learn. So you covered 360-degree of all the factors, including parent, child, stakeholders, or even the circle and everything. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for inviting me to your podcast.
Yeah.
And
So,
thank you.
viewers, this is one of the finest podcasts that we have ever had. So it covers everything for a child to how they should grow themselves. For a parent who is listening to this podcast, understand your weakness and your strength to make sure your child overcomes those weaknesses and everything to achieve what best that your child can achieve.